Hey guys, it's hard to believe, but it's been over 20 months since I got my first hair system. During that time, we've had the pandemic, and literally, I've gone through every type of hair system. I had a custom, which was skin and mesh. I've had 2 mesh systems, and now I currently have a skin system. And I wanted to go over each one of these really, I'll try and make it as quick as possible, to give you an idea of what my thoughts are on the different systems and actually which one I prefer, which I would say at this point even surprised myself. The first system I had, which lasted 7 months, was the custom skin and mesh. So you had skin on the outside and mesh in the middle that held it together. And that system was awesome. It had a nice hairline that was defined, which I loved, and if there was any issues, it had, again, a defined hairline, so if I needed to correct anything on my own, I could do it without any problems. Because of the pandemic and low supply of hair systems, I held on to that as long as possible, and it lasted me 7 months. And that was excellent, and I really like that system, and I'm hoping to get another system like that, but at this time I haven't been able to because they aren't producing them at the same rate, and the wait is several months long, and I think there's one currently on order for me, but at this point, with the pandemic still going on, I don't know when it's going to show up. The second type of system that I had was the mesh system, which the French mesh system, as they call it, and that was a great system. It was lightweight. I think one of the things that got me, though, was the hairline. So when I had a mesh system, as the system got older, I've had 2 systems with mesh, the front mesh would start fraying. So little by little, the hairs would weave their way out of the system and loosen more readily than the other systems I had. I also had more situations where the mesh hair would get, as the glue, the medical grade glue would come out, you would end up with the hair from being stuck to your forehead a lot more often than with any of the other systems I had. Although they were great systems, I had 2 systems, and they lasted about a little bit more than 8 months together. So a little bit over 4 months apiece, which is still really quite good for a hair system. Now I do try and take care of everything and make everything last because I knew, or I didn't know what the supply situation would be for hair systems. So I always try and take care of my system as best I can, and not to abuse it or treat it really rough. So I don't want to go through them. I want to extend their life, obviously. The last system I'm going to talk about is the skin, which is my current system, which you can see, as you can see, it has a very defined hairline. This one I originally had long, and 6 weeks ago I had it cut shorter, which I kind of like. I came from the gym, so you'd have a more realistic view of how the system looks. I mean, this isn't polished. I mean, there are a few flaws, and this has been 6 months. 6 months and a week, actually. And it is still holding up very well. And in fact, of all the systems, based upon what I'm able to get, I'm surprised that, believe it or not, this is the system that I think is the best. And one of the reasons why I really like the system is I'd heard about people making comments about, the systems can slide if you sweat a lot. I didn't have any situation like that. In fact, it's held up great. And when I've had any minor things, the cleanup of if there is any glue, it's easy to clean up. You know where your hairline is. And if I have to add some bond, which I haven't had to add, the guys that I work with have been doing a great job here in Orlando. And it's so easy to clean versus the mesh. The mesh is really hard to get the glue off of to reset and put new glue down. So through all my systems and the value, I wouldn't have believed I'd say this. The skin is my favorite of the three, or a favorite of the two between mesh and skin, because the hairline is easy to maintain. I don't have hairs coming out. I don't have hairs stuck to my forehead in the morning sometimes when I wake up. Like every hair system, you've got to be careful and take care of it. But I'm really impressed with the skin, and I was really, for a time, anti-skin. I thought it was probably the worst option, and I'm pleasantly surprised of its results. And you can, that's for 6 months. I mean, and it's been a few weeks, just so you can see. I mean, it's not perfect. There's some issues, but tomorrow I'm getting a new system. So I wanted to do this today at the end of the life of this system, so you guys can kind of see, this is a skin. This is 6 months. And, I go back to the 20 months when people ask, would you do this again? And I look at photos from before I had this done, and you can see, I mean, if you want to stay up on things that I've done and go back to the original, like I posted the original time that I got the hair system, so you can see that. If you subscribe to my channel, you can go back. I have a whole playlist on different hair system stuff, and you can see when I got it done and what was involved and what I look like. So I'm gonna continue. I like it. I'm very pleased with the skin. I prefer it over the mesh, and probably the best one, which I can't get right now, is the mesh skin blend, the custom one. But maybe down the road. But I'm surprised. I am really happy with the skin. And the one thought is if you, and I've heard this before, if you sweat a lot, it is hard to wear a hair system. Like if you naturally sweat a lot, if you work outdoors. But I go to the gym. I'm going to the gym like 5 times a week. I'm doing cardio 3 to 4 times a week. I'm leaving sweating, and this has held up. So I'm really impressed with it, and I'm loving my hair system. I know some guys have been like, I'm done with it. There's one guy he's really good on YouTube. He talked about CrossFit and how after doing CrossFit, he was kind of done with the hair system because he sweats so much. But I'm loving it. And if you have comments, leave them below. I will try and answer them. I don't always get to them right away, so be patient. We all have different things going on in our lives, and I do my best. And it's been a while since I've done a hair system video, so thank you for watching. Subscribe below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.